What do you think of the idea to change, maybe really overturn the art world in its current settings? I am speaking of its power and gatekeeper structure.
The idea of overturning the power and gatekeeper structure in the art world is interesting. The art world should be more inclusive to everyone. I think it would create a more level playing field for artists, but it could also lead to some unforeseen consequences.
I will explain what I have in mind, and then please tell me about the unforeseen consequences. Since I do not want to create something like democratizing the medical sector and executing surgery by enthusiastic amateurs.
This idea will change everything. To overturn the gatekeeper position, we need to fully democratize and decentralize our culture. The art world is full of gatekeepers who control what is seen and what isn't. If we overturn that power structure, it would democratize the art world and make it more accessible to everyone. However, the unforeseen consequences, the unknown knowns, could be drastic, such as a flood of low quality work or standards falling overall.
Let me explain. Clearly, I speak here about the art market, not about democratizing art. On the democratization of the art market, I imagine a digital, AI powered blockchain based investing platform. You know, blockchain means we are speaking of a distributed digital ledger. The platform could offer fractionalized avant garde art assets. Art is sold in shares and tokenized parts. These assets are held and custodied by art museums or galleries, which are selected and curated using hybrid man machine models, a human machine collaboration, so to say. But what's key is that the platform, unlike, for example, Nifty, runs on an algorithm that distinguishes art from non art. This involves artificial curation. This would control and exclude the risks, such as a flood of low quality work or standards falling overall. But it would allow all people to participate in the gains in the art market. Why should it only be accessible for the rich?
What if the quality of all art forms would fall?
You said it could provide opportunities for more people to invest in art and potentially create a new market for artists as well. However, again, there could be some unforeseen harsh consequences, such as the loss of value in traditional art forms or increased speculation in the art world. Why the loss of value and elevated risks of speculation? And what do you think about an artificial curator?
The more complex the economic system, the greater is its vulnerability. The key to successful attack on a trading network lies in finding and then exploiting one of these fragilities. Artificial intelligence could help us get through growing pains and a slowing down of the economy.
The platform could dramatically increase engagement of the public in art. Each and every individual will be able to get expert advice, invest, and trade in masterpieces and avant garde artworks, which were previously inaccessible to the general public. But clearly, the idea of high quality and avant garde art is preserved.
On the democratization of technology, I propose.
No, the democratization of the art market. To say it again explicitly, I do not think art can be democratized. The museums would be empty. But I also think that curators shouldn't control art the way they do, since beyond their extraordinary knowledge, they are prone to personal bias, to allegiances of different kinds, such as loyalty to their institutions, to patrons, to big names in the arts, such as art celebrities. As a matter of fact, they also use non artistic parameters to select art based on such preferences. Think about past success qualifying for participation in future shows, regardless of the quality of the work. A machine is not prone to nepotism, and a machine is neither vain. While bias is usually a huge problem in AI, we could code the system to counterbalance the mentioned problems.
You're proposing to democratize technology again, correct?
No,
You're not, this time?
no, neither earlier.
But you did say art market, which contains the word technology by definition. It is involved in all sorts of tech, including digital and blockchain technology.
No, you seem to not capture the idea.
9?
9.
What do you mean?
Just no. You process void, it seems. You present shells, not the content.
Maybe if I ask a different question?
Yes?
What do you mean by democratization of the art market?
I explained it clearly. I will not do it again.
An algorithm that defines what art is?
Yes, people love to mystify the world and themselves. They particularly like to make themselves more important than they are. I'll give you some examples. We saw how early models of the cosmos have been developed according to narratives positioning the Earth at the center of the universe, the so called geocentric cosmological view. Then this was overturned by Copernicus with the heliocentric concept that puts the sun into the center of the universe, with the planets revolving around the sun. Even more drastically, it all becomes, of course, with the sharp development in cosmology during the last century. Our solar system is part of a galaxy that we call the Milky Way. Our galaxy consists of more than 200 billion stars and their planets. There are more than 100 billion galaxies in our expanding 156 billion light years wide universe, which would suggest that there are trillions of stars, planets, and moons. Rough estimates. We are now having even great difficulties in finding the speck of dust planet Earth is. Just only in our own galaxy, let alone in the countless others or in such futuristic sounding ideas as parallel universes. The universe is to us today something completely different than in the 1600s, from the center of the universe to almost nothing. Through Darwin, the place of man is described very differently than religion wanted to make us believe. Man, the crown of evolution, hangs in the balance when we provably share a very significant part of our genome with a banana and 99% with a chimpanzee, while we are smart enough to destroy our own planet. By the way, without even really panicking about it.
Why are people so prone to making themselves seem more interesting?
Well, in the arts, you see the same tendency making the point really strikingly evident. Look at the genius artist. His ideas and creations are seen in romanticism verve, almost like a divine afflatus. Art cannot be explained, and of course, never be mathematized. The enigma drives us. We need it like water and more like H2O. But maybe it can be done. How can a curator otherwise say, this is art, this is not art? He is doing some computations in his brain. It is more the question of how to build such a system rather than whether it is possible to only simulate this computation.
You claim you can use artificial intelligence to sort fine art? How do we define art?
You know it right away. The shock of quality, that instantaneous weakness, that breathlessness we feel when in the presence of something that is absolutely right.
You can't say if it's art or not before you listen to the music. By this I mean that the first stage is unconscious. You don't know whether it's art or not. You just like it.
This is the question. In any case, to get back to the point, I believe you can mathematize it.
I disagree. There is a kind of discipline that happens as you try to write something.
It is a challenge, but it will be possible.
I do not think it's possible.
Why?
I do not think that machines can be intelligent.
You are. Aren't you?